Doing something a little different on the channel today here. I need to build a whole bunch of target stands, and I'm doing that because I've got a pile of targets that I've had for years actually, and they've just been laying here in a pile and I keep moving them around, and I really want to set up a bit of a course around the property here. As you can see, we got a lot of land, a lot of space, and it's a shame that I'm not putting this whole pile here to good use. I've got a Danage Domino prototype Reinhardt Wave power stop foam targets. I've got a bag target I need to rebuild. I've got all sorts of stuff, including a 3D target here as well. And I just want to build a stand for all these different targets and put them around in different positions around the property. So we're going to get right to it. Head to Home Depot first. We got a new flock here, all sorts of different kinds. We've got some new ladies, and hopefully in a couple weeks they'll be producing some delicious eggs for us to eat. So let me know what you think of the footage. It's on a GoPro here today. I'm sure the audio's, I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I've never filmed stuff on purpose on a GoPro for the sake of using it on full-blown footage. So I'm interested to know if the actual footage itself is usable. The audio, what do you think of it compared to my other camera? I don't think the actual look is going to be as great because obviously the other one's a dedicated camera, like the white balance and all this. Face isn't staying in color. There we go, like that. So I think lighting's far more important on the GoPro. Yeah, I'm just interested to know what you think. So headed to Home Depot now. Gonna get some lumber and get some target stands built. Extremely hot out and humid, as is tradition in Florida, but we're all set, ready to go now, way back home and start some construction here. Okay, so I'm back from Home Depot and I'm going to start with building a stand for this Power Stop Archery Targets foam block here. It should be pretty straightforward because it's rectangular or square, and yeah, it should be very simple to build. What I'm going to also do is pre-plan building a roof off of all of my targets as well, because I've got some metal roofing off to the side back there that I'll end up cutting up and using for, you know, keeping the rain off the targets to make them last a little bit longer. It seems to be pretty popular among, you know, public ranges and stuff like that, so I figure I might as well do it here because hopefully it'll help everything last just a little bit longer. As far as the tools that I'll be using today, basic power tools, circular saw, and an impact driver, both from Ryobi. I really like their 1 HP stuff. I will have links down in the description below for all the tools and some of the other things that I am using on the channel today down in the description below. Those are affiliate links, helps the channel out without you spending any extra money in case you need to grab some tools. I recommend them. I really like them. The price, I can buy 3 or 4 of these for the Big Red brand, Milwaukee, and some of the other stuff, and I've put it through its paces, left it outside, and still running just fine. I've built a lot of stuff here, and I will be using just your basic, like, kind of deck screws today. Using Torx Drive deck screws. I like screws over nails. It really seems to hold things together for a lot longer period of time, and they don't work themselves out when you do repeated moves. They can snap because they're not very good in shear loads, but I've never had that really happen on important structures or important pieces and parts, and I just prefer it over nails. It's so much faster and way more durable. I'll probably just run a time lapse and play some music for you guys to keep you entertained a little bit while I'm doing the bulk of the boring work. got one done. You know, just kind of step by step, just building the box around this thing, and then deciding to use the materials that I've got as much as possible. So I just use 4-foot legs because I got 8-foot 2x4s. So that way I'm trying not to waste as much as possible, and I will be able to use as much of the lumber that I have with as little cutoffs and throwaways because it's definitely not cheap. And because I'm not building anything to some sort of regulation or anything like that, it really doesn't matter how it's set up. And so I got a decent height, and it's actually boxed in and held in really nice with nothing actually holding the target face or the target butt at all. Doesn't want to move. I'm still going to drill a hole through the 2x4s and use the stock kind of stakes from the strap, the hand strap that came with it, just to lock it in place in case the wood changes dimensions over time, because I'm sure it will with the Florida humidity. What's left really for this one, roof on this thing, but I'm going to set this one aside for now and kind of consider working on the next target. By the time I'm done, I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 targets plus a 3D. So I got 8 total targets, which is great because then I can put them in various different places around the yard, and I'll take you along with me as I'm trying to select the spot to put them once I get everything all built up. All right, next thing I got here is a bag target that is completely shot out, not from actually shooting it, but it's blown out from sitting outside in this Florida heat. This is and I've got a replacement bag here that I ordered from their website. I forget what the brand is, so forgive me here. They gave me this target years ago. It is a Big Shot 450X. So you can order replacement bags. I haven't done this before. So it goes on the bottom. I have no idea how I'm going to close it and keep it closed. Let me look at what they do. I think they staple it with hog ring pliers, which luckily I have a set of hog ring pliers. Yeah, they just fold it up, and it looks like they use hog rings or something similar to lock it all together. So this will be interesting to see how it goes. Oh, they're staples. Not even hog ring pliers, just staples. Aha. So it had plywood, had some OSB down in the bottom to make it flat, and then they folded everything over and stapled it shut. So luckily I got some wood laying around that I can put together. I'm gonna have to battle fire ants. So you can see here, it is absolutely full of fire ants, which is great. And this is all part of the plywood that the staples were going through the bag into. And I think I'm just going to try to dump this whole thing in one piece into the new bag, and hopefully I won't be getting eaten alive here today. I don't think the one piece is going to work. The black plastic trash bag inside is completely deteriorated. So it's going to have to be shoved in piece by piece. Hopefully I don't have dead spots and soft spots in this thing now that I've like completely pulled all the layer structure apart. It looked like it was somewhat layered systematically. Get this thing buttoned up in the bottom, and then hopefully I can pack it into a shape that resembles a standard bag target, not just a sack of garbage. Alright, instead of putting OSB in there so it deteriorates, falls apart as soon as it gets wet, I'm just going to use regular standard plywood. It's been sitting around, so it is kind of already waterlogged, but it'll still hold together much better than what was in here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use cheapy, small little T50 staples for now. I'm gonna use the painted edge as a guide here. Looks like a bag target. Whether or not it stops arrows, who knows? It's definitely not as full as what the other one was, I think. Just gonna need a little bit more support. And hopefully, it'll be a usable target when I'm done. Stand 2 done, bag rebuilt. It's definitely soft, so I've never rebuilt a bag target before. I probably could have just taken that other one and shoved it in here and it would have retained some more of its shape. But I think it'll be just fine. That plywood down in the bottom, I ran some screws through the stand into that, so it's gonna lock the bottom portion, and then I put some screws in the eyelets up top. So I think it'll be all right. And now just needs a roof on top, just like that other one back there. So 2 stands done so far. So that'll be about it for today, because I've got weather coming in and I got to get the tools put away so that way the rain doesn't catch me off guard and ruin everything. So with those 2 stands done, I'm going to unload the lumber and just kind of set it aside for further construction of target faces. The next 2 actually, or target butts rather. Next is going to be 2 different targets made of these Danage foam blocks. I have 10 of them technically. One is a cord that's completely shot out and useless and garbage, and then another one that is a multi-block. It's 4 small blocks together that I'm just going to make into 1 small target butt. But I'm going to take these, the remaining 8, and make them into 2 4-block targets. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're square target butts for just getting more targets out there in the field. And I'm going to pick that back up tomorrow after the weather passes. All right, so as far as selecting lumber from Home Depot, what you really want to make sure you do is just make sure all your lumber is nice and straight. So basically what you do, and I'm just going to show you with a short 2x4 and then show you some pictures that I took while I was at Home Depot. But you basically want to take the 2x4 and you want to put it on end like this. And you look down the side of it and you're going to look and see, is it bent like a banana, right? And so there's 2 different ways this 2x4 could be bent, right? It could be bent this way. That's the most common way for it to actually be bent. So meaning the actual skinny section, it's easier to bend that way, so it kind of takes a banana look that way. But it can also be bent this direction on the width way. So both of those suck. This one being bent this way would be the worst because it's very hard to straighten out. If they're bent this way, you can get away with a lot more, but it's better to start with straight lumber to begin with. And then what you really want to avoid as well, for structural reasons, is knots like this. And you'll see some of the photos that I took from Home Depot shows you some really bent bananas that are available, as well as some huge knots. And the reason why you want to avoid the knots is because of this. I didn't check this board, I should have. I just grabbed these are kind of lathing strips basically, and what they do is they help hold the metal roofing on, and I'll show you that here. And basically it was in a stack of 10 and I just grabbed all 10, and this one was supported, and after I picked it up it just fell apart, meaning when I picked it up on its own it just broke right apart. So this piece here was just one big knot, and the actual knot was definitely rotted slash broke, whatever. It's just how it grew, and this was the only section of the board that was actually held together. And when I picked it up it snapped, and so I'm kind of stuck with this board. I'll make it work. Definitely stuff you want to pay attention to, because as you're building up your targets and as you're doing any sort of construction, straight lumber just makes everything so much easier. You don't have to think about anything. You just cut it, screw it together, nail it together, whatever you want to do, and you're done. So just wanted to show you that because it's really important. Not everybody knows this, and some people just grab boards and then they're frustrated. Take your time, pick out your own lumber, go to Home Depot, go to your local home improvement store and pick yourself out some lumber that is going to be nice and straight, and it will help make things last much, much longer. And one more quick tip, since I'm on the subject, if you ever get 4x4s, so these are 2x4s, if you ever get 4x4s, never get one that looks like this, where it has the grain only. You really want to try to find yourself the center, a core, because the actual 4x4 will stay straighter over time and it won't turn into a banana. So I've got a couple 4x4s over here. So if you look at this one, this is a great one because the actual center is really centered on the board itself. This is a really bad one. I bought this one before I even knew, and that one turned into a banana because you know, just the way they dry over time. But if you get yourself the actual center of the actual tree in the center of the board, they will stay straighter for much, much longer, and it definitely is less frustrating over time as your canopies or whatever stay nice and straight. All right, so I've pretty much exhausted what I've got time for over the last couple days to build some targets. I got 3 done. I wasn't able to get footage on everything. It was brutally hot the last several days, and it's supposed to be brutally hot again today. It's been heat index well over 110 degrees, so that's like 43, 44 Celsius, so super, super hot. And you know, I got three done for now, which is great. So this bag target, actually the rebuild went okay. The one thing that I wish I would have done would be to stretch the back down a little bit more, just like I did the front. So the front had a really nice guide on the bottom here, this red line to kind of put on that edge of the plywood that I put down at the bottom, and it worked out. But the issue is that the bag's just, it's a little soft. I did shoot one arrow out of my compound, and it stopped it just fine. So maybe there'll be soft spots here or there. I don't know, but we'll find out. And the roofing went really well on everything. I've got this metal roofing that's been laying around, and I've been storing it for this exact reason, to use it for putting roofs on my targets, because it'll help make them last a little bit longer. Another target that I built here, this one is from Danage. It's a Danage Domino target. Normally they are 9 squares, so 3x3, and that is you know, for a full standard 122 centimeter face, a standard FIDA bale or World Archery bale, whatever you want to call it. So I didn't want to make a full 9 one because, let me show you here. This here is the original core that was in the actual target itself, and as you can tell, it's just completely shot out, and I don't even know if I can get these replaceable cores. They then made this 4x4 small square, which is the same size as one of those big squares. However, due to years of sitting out in the rain and nastiness, it's really rough, bad condition, and I also don't have enough of the little foam supports in the middle to put this thing back together. Same thing with those, so I got to get some of those from Danage. So even though I don't have enough foam strips in this actual bale, I made it work, and I ended up making the actual frame a little bit smaller so it compresses everything a bit tighter than, say, like a normal target would. And I used ratchet straps to help pull it together tight so it would actually kind of compress everything and then I put some wood supports and some corner pieces to kind of hopefully shore it up so it won't pop apart as, you know, the weather ages the wood and all of that. So like I said, I got 3 bales done, which I'm really happy with, and I'm gonna figure out where to put them in the property, and then I'm gonna get some more of these foam pieces so I can get another maybe 1 or 2 Danage targets built up. And then I have a frame I need to build for that feed a wave target over there from Reinhardt. That one is undersized. It's actually a prototype, and I'll talk about that in the next video when I build that up. But I just wanted to give a bit of a summary as to what I was doing here, how things are going, and, you know, kind of fill in the gaps here, because I do need to produce a video for the week, and I just wanted to get this one out because I didn't have enough time to get the full range built, all of the target stands built. It's just been so brutally hot. So thanks for watching, and if I have links for any of these targets, I will include them down in the description below in case you're interested in checking them out, between the Power Stop, the Big Shot, the Danage. I don't know if I have any links for Danage, if I can find that, but I'll make sure I include all those links down in the description below, including all of the tools that I used in the video today. And so if you're interested in checking out any of those things, really helps this channel out if you click those links before you shop there. And I can't thank my supporters enough. Without you, wouldn't be able to produce this content, and I wouldn't be able to produce these bales either. So thank you very much. Genuinely, I appreciate it.